It does.
It's just like, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Delighted to have you all here for Shabbat. Welcome if you are joining us online as well. A special Shabbat tonight. It is, with sundown, we will be entering the second day of Elul, the month preceding the beginning of the new year. Elul is a special moment with change in liturgy, change in our feelings, and as we really begin to think seriously about this new year and what it will bring and what it will mean. Elul itself can you go back? Wait. Maybe it's not there. Is it not there? Oh, dang. That's not it. Imagine, if you will, an aleph, a lamed, a vav, and a lamed, which make the word Elul, which our tradition, our sages tell us, is actually an acronym for Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine, coming from the book of Shir HaShirim. And speaking particularly of our relationship to God, that we are God's beloved, and God is our beloved. But it is a reminder of this time of year as well, of our reconnection and renewal of relationships, and thinking about our relationships, what we need, and how we need to reconnect. And so we will begin tonight with something else from Shir HaShirim, another piece of love poetry, Dodi Li, which you'll find in your prayer books on page 129. If you need the words, as we enter the month of Elul. By the way, one other thing about Elul as well. We change our greetings as well, beginning with Elul and extending all the way to the first Shabbat in October, when we will celebrate Simchat Torah. You can add Shana Tova to your greetings. Join with us. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim dodi li mehizot ola min hamidbar mehizot ola min hamidbar dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim dodi li mekuteret mor hu levona dodi li dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim dodi li b'shoshanim dodi li. If you'll turn in your prayer books to pages 120 and 121, we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. And I'd like to invite Reuben to join us on the bima. And Reuben will be sharing a reading that is a reflection of Elul. You won't find it in your prayer book, so I invite you to just listen along as he shares this reading with you. Here we go.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. In honor of the gift of stillness and rest, a day devoted to peace, peace within my soul, on this day I have everything I need. Peace with those around me, on this day I seek no quarrel or strife. Peace of earth and sky, green trees and quiet water, I give thanks that I am present in this world. I celebrate the miracle of existence, the breath within me, the beating of my heart, the love that blesses my life. Light it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvot, it's been a while, sorry, b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehatlik ner shel Shabbat.
Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Reuben, would you like to come back up here for a sec and just hold the Kiddush cup for us? Thank you. On page 123, let's join together in sanctifying this moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim. Thank you so much. thought that was my microphone for a moment. And we'll continue on page 142 with a little bit different melody tonight. Typically we sing Lecha Dodi, of course. Tonight, Shalom Aleichem. With Shalom Aleichem, we welcome the angels that traditionally accompany us through Shabbat. But it reminds us as well of the angels that accompany us throughout our lives, throughout our world. It gives us an opportunity to think about them as we sing together. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Lechei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch. As we have welcomed the angels into our midst, I invite you to take a moment to greet the angels sitting around you. Welcome them, wish them a Shabbat Shalom, perhaps say hello to someone new. we doing this in D? Page 146. Invite you to rise as we join together in Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la ya la la la. Ya la la la. Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Ya la la. Please be seated. Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between. And so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let us illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. D minor? Okay. We're playing different music there, okay. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta together on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha havaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, Uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Eternal, watch over my small domain of light and shadow, those few people who share my love and all others upon this earth that sometimes shakes with thunder and reverberates with lightning. Help us to live with fear and conquer rage. Heal the hate that makes us kill and covers the ground with this Red Sea that only you can part, so we may all walk through the wilderness to your realm of peace, where all men and women are one, and sing your blessed name. We join together now in the words of Mi Chamocha, celebrating, not only remembering and celebrating our freedom at the sea, but remembering the task we take on as those created in God's image to make the world free. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Let's try that one more time. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo, osefele, Nora tehilot, Nora tehilo, osefe. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea. They sang this song of praise to you. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilo, On page 162, we give thanks for the gift of Shabbat with Debbie Friedman's version of Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim va'et haaretz, Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayinafar Shabbat Shabbat vayinafar Shabbat Shabbat vayinafar Shabbat, Shabbat vayinafash. Page 164, we turn to the Amidah, beginning, as I have said, with words that remind us that always the words that come forth from our lips should be ones of praise for God. I invite you to please rise as we join together. Adonai. Sfatai tiftach. Ufi agid tehilatecha. 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 I invite you to continue with the words of our prayer book through page 180, or with the thoughts and meditations of your own hearts. And when you're prepared to do so, you may be seated. שאלתי מאת אדוני, אך את שאלתי אותו אבקש. אך את שאלתי מאת אדוני, אך את שאלתי אותו אבקש. שבתי, שבתי בבית אדוני, שבתי, שבתי כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בבית הלום, לחזות בנועם Adonai, to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all the days of my life. We turn now to our prayer for healing, asking healing for those we hold in our hearts, those whose names we know and those whose names we don't, those suffering illness of body, of mind, of spirit, that they may all find a refuah shlema, a full and complete healing. We ask for a refuah shlema for Aaron Aronov, Gary Ashland, Stephen Baird, Marion Barak, Butch Barrett, Michael Becker, Sophie Belsberg, Itzhak Ben-Nomi, Lisa Bird, Elaine Blatt, Louise Cantrell and Dwayne Cantrell, Amy Chadwick, Bill Cohen, Bertha Coleman, Michael Dyer, Tino Felipe, Gershon Ben Shmuel Miriam, Bernie Goldstein, Robert Greenberg, Rhonda Kaplan, Jeff Mackler, Joe Marinelli, Eat Nakowitz, Zachary Pierce, Keith Rand, Ben Reback, Arlene Reagan, Ivan Rosenberg, Richard Ross, Myrna Salzberg, Benjamin Skula, Enid Seelig, Lowell Selvin, Miles Sen, Karen Shanbrom, Luann Snyder, Fran Solomon, Henry Summerfield, David Suriel, Lily Sue Tyler, Stephen Valentino, David Ben Herschel Vabasha, Adam Weisbart, Rena Weishart, Gib Weinbar, Philip Windsor, and Doug Workman. Before we join together in the words of our prayer for healing, if there are those whose names you would like to share, I invite you to please do so at this time. Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi Shabbat Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah Berachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah Berachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. If you were asked what verses capture the essence of Torah, what would you say? Probably the first verse that comes to most of our minds is Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. Or you might choose a verse from this week's Torah portion. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice you shall pursue. Well, our Hasidic teachers point to 5 essential phrases that they say capture the essence of Torah. There's, of course, the aforementioned Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. And another 4 less easily recognized verses, one of which is found in this week's portion. Not tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, by the way, but tamim tihiyah im Adonai Elohecha. There it is. Be wholehearted with the eternal your God. It's easy to see why Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself, makes the top 5, of course. But why this verse? What the heck does it actually really mean to be wholehearted? And I think perhaps it's not just that it's the verse itself, but also where we find it in our annual cycle of Torah reading. This verse appears this week in Parashat Shoftim, a portion that always comes at the very beginning of the month of Elul. The month, of course, preceding Rosh Hashanah. 3 weeks ago, just prior to Tisha B'Av, we commenced our journey toward the High Holy Days. But with our entry this week into the month of Elul, there is an increased sense of urgency, of anticipation, which is acknowledged both in our liturgy, as we have done tonight, in our sacred readings from the Torah at this time of year. We enter Elul very much standing on the threshold of time. We enter a passageway that leads out of this year and into the next. And as we do so, there is an increased urgency to the question of how might we make next year just a bit better. As we each search for our answer to that question individually over this month and over the High Holy Days, our Torah suggests that we start here with this verse. Tamim tihiyeh im Adonai Elohecha. Be wholehearted with the eternal your God. Given its place in the top 5, it's worth taking just a moment to dig a bit deeper into the meaning of this verse. Tamim, wholehearted. How exactly is one wholehearted? Well, we have 2 great examples from the Torah, of course. There is Noah. Noah is described as an ish tzaddik tamim, a righteous, wholehearted man in his generation. Noah was a man who, despite the surrounding social environment in which he found himself, pursued a righteous life. And this could not have been easy for him. For Noah, being wholehearted with God meant having to be ethically strong and morally courageous. Being wholehearted required him to be a man of unwavering conviction. After all, imagine what his neighbors said as they walked by, scoffing at that huge boat that was taking shape in his front yard. And then there's Avram. Before he became Avraham, he is told to walk before God and be tamim, be wholehearted. It is right after these words that he is told to be tamim that Avram becomes Avraham. The hay said to symbolize God's presence in his life, that he is indeed one who wholeheartedly walks before God. For Abraham to be tamim is to be in relationship with God. It is to make a conscious decision to make God a living presence in his life. What we can understand from both Noah and Abraham is that being tamim takes strength and conviction and commitment to walk a path of life guided by and adhering to a set of ideals we identify with Torah and ultimately with God. Then there's tihiyah. You, in the singular, not the plural, which is unusual really for Torah. Wholeheartedness is an individual commitment. We may come together to support each other, to encourage each other, to strengthen each other, but ultimately, the path we walk, our relationship with God, is very personal and incredibly intimate. And then there is with God. Wholeheartedness is a condition we can only achieve with God. We achieve wholeheartedness by animating the divine that exists within us. These are beautiful words and a lofty ideal, a wonderful slogan indeed as we begin to make our way towards the high holy days. But in very practical terms, I come back to that question with which I started. What does it mean to walk wholeheartedly with God? The answer to that question is what I think makes this verse essential to our Hasidic masters. You see, these words are found smack dab in the middle of a portion whose focus is the creation of a judicial system that assures that each and every person is treated fairly and equitably. In great detail, this week's portion describes the organization of a system of courts, a process of trial and appeal, and makes it quite clear in words that somehow have very poignant reverberations today that no one is above the law. In fact, there are those words, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice you shall pursue. The pursuit of justice takes wholehearted courage and conviction. The kind of wholehearted commitment that comes only with knowing that we have a purpose much larger and more important, more holy than our own individual lives. In fact, the image of messianic times that comes down to us is of a society resting upon divine scales of justice, whose balance is maintained by our own individual wholehearted commitment to walk with God. So as we enter this month of Elul, our Torah asks us to begin the sacred journey toward the new year with a wholehearted commitment to the pursuit of justice. We begin our journey toward the high holy days as did Abraham, binding our lives to God's purpose. And we begin our journey as did Noah, with a personal and courageous commitment to walk with God. And we begin, as we will at the end of our service tonight, with the sounding of the shofar. Its primal sound calling us to return to what is most basic in our humanity, that we might create a just, compassionate, equitable, and ultimately sacred place where all might wholeheartedly walk with God. Can you hear God's song? May it be God's will. Amen. I'm going to pause now for a moment for some announcements from Murray Levine, our congregational treasurer, wherever you would like.
Okay, good evening, finally. I'm Murray Levine, a member of the Board of Trustees, and on behalf of Kol Ami, want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. I want to thank Rabbi Lutz, Dr. Alin Milik Adamyan. Am I getting it close yet? Thank you. For her piano accompaniment, Travis Smith, audio and video, and Leonard Seelig for his help in setting up tonight's oneg. Thank you. I have a lot of announcements to make tonight. High Holy Days are less than a month away. Slichot is on Saturday, September 9th. Erev Rosh Hashanah is on Friday, September 15th. And Kol Nidre is on Sunday evening, September 24th. We have emailed all registration information to you, and we have updated our website. Please register online for your intended in-person dates, sponsorships, and Yizkor scroll requests. If you have any questions, please contact Devorah or Adam in the office. For the next few weeks, there will be someone from the Rabbinic Search Committee available to listen to members' questions and comments during the oneg. We want to hear from our congregation on what they are suggesting or looking for when we find our permanent settled rabbi. Tonight, our co-president Leonard Slutsky is here tonight for this role. Leonard, stand up so people know who you are in case they don't. Sunday, August 20th, this coming Sunday, starting at 9:30 a.m., spend a couple of hours volunteering with the Jewish Federation and other organizations as we come together to pick up trash at Topanga Beach. And I assume that depends on hurricane permitting. Does anyone know who to contact if it's on or if it's happening or not happening? Because okay. This is an opportunity to make a positive impact on our environment, spend quality time with service-minded members of our communities, and help our LA community enjoy good, clean fun in the sun or rain. This service day is a vital way to show our community solidarity, response to hate, and commitment to service. Sunday, August 27th, the following week at 12 noon, join Kol Ami and our friends at BCC for an end of summer beach day on Santa Monica Beach. Lifeguard Station 26. Registration details are in the lobby and also on the website. Friday, September 1st, those who participate in our open yard programs for the 20 to 30-year-olds are invited to a post-Shabbat dinner in West Hollywood. The restaurant is still to be determined, but please register so we can make arrangements. The next book circle discussion will take place on Saturday, September 2nd at 4 p.m. We will be reading Alexandrian Summer by Yitzhak Garmazano Goren and Yardine Greenspan. Alexandrian Summer is the story of two Jewish families living their frenzied last days in the doomed cosmopolitan social whirl of Alexandria just before fleeing Egypt for Israel in 1951. The conventions of the Egyptian upper middle class are laid bare in this dazzling novel, which exposes startling sexual hypocrisies and portrays a now vanished polyglot world of horse racing, seaside promenades, and elegant nightclubs. Sunday, September 3rd, Mocha, the men of Kol Ami, invite you to have fun in the sun again and a day at sea as they are going whale watching. The excursion leaves out of Long Beach with an 11:30 a.m. dockside check-in. Again, more information will be available on our website. And I don't know who wrote this, but they asked me to add, it's guaranteed to be a whale of a time. We are seeking musical talent, those who can support and enhance our worship experience either vocally or instrumentally. If you are interested or know of someone who might be interested, please let Rabbi Lutz know. We thank you in advance for renewing your 2023-24 membership with Kol Ami. Renewal statements were sent via email, but if you cannot locate yours or have any questions about your membership payment terms, please feel free to contact Adam or Devorah directly. There are demonstrations organized by a group called Unacceptable every Sunday at 11 a.m. in front of the Israeli consulate for people with concerns about the state of democracy in Israel. For more information, please see Rabbi Lutz. As a reminder, throughout the month of August, we will be starting services at 7:05 p.m. We are piloting this idea in response to member feedback. What happens after the pilot will be shared with you once we see how it goes. And as always, we hope you'll keep up to date on all that is happening at Congregation Kol Ami by visiting our website often at kol-ame.org. And while you're visiting our website, please consider a donation to our synagogue to support the holy work we do all year long. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Mary. I just want to add one thing to how wonderful it is to have Aline here on the bima with us, to be able to share the bima with her. She's here as, wait. She's here as a new mom. How old? 3 weeks old. How impressive is that? That she's even awake enough to play the piano tonight. So it's great to have you here. Thank you. We're going to continue with the Aleinu on page 586. I invite you to please rise. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. We pause now to that moment that comes at the end of each worship service where we join together as community to remember those whose shoulders we stand upon. We do this particularly as community in order to support each other and as a recognition of the contributions our loved ones have made to our being here. Tonight, we remember Yartzites first from last week, from which we were rudely interrupted from saying their names. And we will find these names on our wall of memory. We remember Leonard Bergstein, Leona Siegel, Dorothy Siegel, and Marilyn de Turenne. And also on our wall of memory, those whose yahrzeit is observed this Shabbat: Edith Krauss, Rita Rouse, Bernard Egger, Angela Luba Sugar, Claire Finkel, Rick Lead, Ruben Steinman. We remember as well those whose yahrzeit was observed last Shabbat: Ida Polanski, Alvin Goldberg, Ellen Metzner, Alice Albertine, Samuha Abudi, and Amanidav Aloni. And for this week, Annette Beth Bacharach, Janice Houghton Levy, Anton Malley, Louis Gluck, Rod Bergman, and Max Polikoff. And we remember as well those whose loved ones are in the period of Shana, saying Kaddish for the first and through the first year of the death of their loved one. We remember Jason Thomas Lodge, Elaine Cohen, Maeve Eisenberg, Barton Kogan, Dabby Blatt, Stephen Shapiro, Carol Rosenthal, Marilyn Horwitz, Murray Blank, Steve Hochstein, Ernie Sosnick, Stephen W. Wright, Scott Magid, Gloria Brown, Rosina Spitzer, Lizzie Taylor, James Hornbeck, David Bird, Fran Schanbrom, Louis Silverman, Patricia Rudolph, Harriet Stein, David Bordetsky, Vivian Bernard, Leatrice Bloom, Tammy Rabowski, Reverend Daniel E. Smith, George Fisher, and Esther Keller Baum. And those whose families are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days, or Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning: Addie Lilleveld, Riva Solomon, Charlotte Joseph, Michael Sky, John Altschul, and Eitan Wolf. And before we rise and join together in Kaddish, if you are here tonight saying Kaddish for a loved one whose name we have yet to mention, I invite you to please rise and share their name with us at this time. And so we say, Zichronam Livracha, may the memory of our loved ones be always a source of blessing. Now, if it is your tradition and remembrance, in support of our members of our community in mourning and in remembrance of all who have left none to say Kaddish for them, we invite you to rise as we join together on page 598. Yit Kadal, V'yit Kadash, Shmei Rabbah, Ba'alma Divra Chirutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mavarach la'olam u'lamei almaya, yit barach v'yish tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh, v'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit halal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Le'elamin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all the bereaved among us, as we say, Amen. And please be seated. By the way, just before our closing song, which will be Oseh Shalom, I hope when the ark was opened, you saw how beautiful the silver is. I want to thank Ugo for getting us prepared for the high holidays by beautifully shining up all the silver for us. And I just have to say, Murray kind of stole my thunder. I was so looking forward to have the opportunity to actually say, depending on whether there's a hurricane or not. Because I've, been here my whole career, never had the opportunity to mention a hurricane before. So, thank you to global warming. All right. Join with us. Shalom bimromam, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromam, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromam, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom. Shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav. Shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu Kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. So, as our final benediction during the month of Elul, we're going to invite Hope to blow a blast on the shofar for us and get us all ready. I invite you to please rise. Takiya. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Hope. Let's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you, Hope. Oh, yes.